We're live. Hello and welcome to now I know how YouTubers feel when when they like start streaming and then they have to restart the
Oh yeah.
stream and you sort of get onto the stream afterwards. You're like, oh, why are they're so drained? Yep, because we have streamed for nearly 15 minutes technically. I didn't realize that my microphone wasn't working. Um, it'd be a real shame if it still wasn't. Um, And actually, the last intro was so great. Honestly, man, I wish people could hear it. I feel like I smashed that. It was comedic gold, just me being by myself. I gave Queen Liz a bit of a minute silence, but actually, I got bored after a few seconds. And,
Yeah, to be fair, that is good banter.
um,
Yeah, it's a real shame the viewers can't see it.
yeah, and it was great because it was just me by myself. Dan had gone to the toilet, and I was just chilling. Not even chilling. I was rolling with it. And I was thinking on the fly of stuff I could say. I thought the minute silence has brought me great knowledge points there. But yeah, the problem was solved, but the problem had a bigger problem that I didn't know about until later. Right, should we go with it? I've not got the intro. I told the last people that again. I didn't bring up Joe's musical sounds. Um, Forgot about it. So unlucky.
Oh, I mean,
Have you got it to hand?
it's
It is technically an outro, remember? So we could always use it as the outro.
oh,
Yeah, it is such an outro, man. I missed the one with the cough. The one with the cough. Nice,
it's
nice,
manually
nice.
added.
Yeah. How have you been done?
Oh, I'm all good. I'm just casually using this time to think of my wildcard team. Oh, do you know what I am? Do you know what I am? I'm a kid when the teacher's coming around collecting homework, and I'm just doing, or like at the end of the lesson, and in the lesson I'm finishing the homework in class.
uh,
That's what I.
it should be worth mentioning that minutes before this call, I mean, now we've had at least like half an hour to an hour of time, but minutes before we went live originally, Dan found out that it was a blank game week. Um, and that's when I discovered that this is actually just a one man pod. It's just a one man
No, but
pod
part
game.
of part of being an FPL expert, is that it's that you think on the
Yeah,
fly.
yeah,
Well,
you
that's
think on the fly, maybe you prepare with stuff before you brief people on what advice you want to give them. But yeah, I guess take everything that Dan says with a pinch of salt.
I am currently looking at least the viewers will take some solace in that I am currently looking at fixture tickers and XGI and XG and XA rankings for different players within their teams and stuff as we're speaking. I'm doing the homework in class. That's what I'm doing.
Love that, love that. Um, so yes, I wanted to take lead on this stream. I came with a good plan. I came with a good plan, thinking that I'd have three well-informed, good guys all here, BV, Joe, and Dan, sat out here, and I thought, guys, we've left the TGG team unmanaged for too long. What we should do is we should all come with our individual thoughts and build together a TGG team, um, live on stream. But obviously,
Hey, we can still do that. I can throw out some, feeler thoughts. So we can just roll with, which is great that I can have such say on the team that isn't mine with such knowledge.
um,
But I've got thoughts. I can throw thoughts. Certainly at a group team, because that's a group
yeah,
project.
yeah, 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 we can make that on stream. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so let's get back to the setup that we had minutes before we disconnected last time. That's the TGG team and hiding of the TGG logo. And then I'll share with you, Dan, the team and
You know what? Do you know what thought I'm having off the top of my head is just from the looks of it, there seems. I wonder if you're experiencing this. It seems like there's more strikers that are almost that I can think of that I'd want to get than midfielders. I mean, that's just a
Mm,
case of needing to do more thinking, but there's a number of strikers potentially on the
yeah,
tip of my tongue. There's not as many as
there's
midfielders.
4 or 5 strikers that I'd like, but yeah, we've only got 3 spots. That is what it is. Um, it's quite a weird change, I guess, from last season when they were massively underperforming and we barely had any options. So it's a welcome change. Um, right, this is the current state of the TGG team, Dan. I did actually. This is the current state of the TGG team if we take a -4. So in goal we've got Nick Pope. We've got Reece James, Trippier, Trent, Cancelo, Perisic. We've then got Martinelli, Aronson, Maddison, Andreas Pereira, Murphy, Haaland, Greenwood, and Kane. Basically, it's a shithole. Um, so I think what we do is we play the wild card. It is the wild card episode, so it shouldn't be anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I'll also be playing my wild card just so the viewers know.
and we just remove every single person in this team, and we start from 0.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Isaac's done well so far for Newcastle, hasn't he?
I guess he has.
Well, he's got 1.31 XGI data and 1.26, and I swear he's only played a game or two.
And you know what this is? This is a quality wild card because it's only got 99.2 mil in the bank. Um,
Oh, so everyone can copy
yes,
this
everyone
if they
should be
want
able
to.
to make this wild card. And
That's
potentially
how you
with
tell it's good.
improvements if you've got more in the bank, which I hope you should.
Yeah. You could have millions more. Well, a couple million more. Anyway.
Right. Should we start by individually just getting in people that I'm sure we all agree on? I feel like we should definitely have Andreas Pereira back in here as our bench boy.
Oh yeah. You know what? Should we? Oh yeah, I guess we can.
What do you
We
think?
could start off with discussing the strikers because there's a few potential strikers.
We can start with strikers. I'm just thinking let's just get through our bench boys, so then we can just know how much money we got to play with the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, certainly with 99 point whatever mil, I'm sure Neco
Yeah,
Williams seems like a defender.
Neco Williams. We'll leave one spot empty. Um, let's get our Ward in there. Could even be Iverson if we need the extra 1.1. But yes, let's go. I guess as we've discussed that there's lots of strikers out there. We're going to be playing 3 up top, and just while he's obviously not up for discussion, should we just plop
Yeah.
Haaland
Haaland.
in there? Right, so we've got 2 more spots then, Dan. How do we want to do this?
Uh, well, uh,
How about this?
the
I've got
top
an
rated
idea,
attacks.
actually. Have you got someone that you would nail down for that second spot, potentially? Not even the third spot, just the second striker spot. And then we could say them both on a 3-2-1. And then if we've got the same person, done. They're in.
Um, just making sure it's who I'm thinking of. Yeah. I mean, it is kind of obviously not a slept on thought, but I've got a name I can say.
Okay. Right. 3, 2.
Oh, is it 1 or 2? Oh wait, one sec. Yeah. Fuck it, I've got a name.
3,
Yeah,
2, 1. Mitrovic.
Isaac. I was nearly gonna say Mitrovic, but
Ha. I was thinking. I wonder if I did it. If I did. Oh, there he is. I was thinking if I did it by form, would he slide into the shot? But there he is. Um, Okay, so we've got differing boys there then. I would have probably gone for Isaac as my third spot, to be honest. What would you have gone for as your third spot? Would it have been a Mitrovic, a
I
Kane,
mean,
or a Tony?
realistically, I have got to take out my see, is there a bit of Forest bias creeping in because I own Dean Henderson? Yeah, realistically, I'd probably would have to go with Mitrovic as my third striker because I'm gonna have to try and resist the urge to be a complete tool.
You gotta think he's got Nottingham Forest.
No, yeah. And he's on such good form. He's got such good
Yeah,
XGI and underlines.
and obviously,
Yeah, like I
even though
said, I
Newcastle
don't.
is a tough game, that's Fulham at home. You love a Fulham at home, and then he's got Bournemouth at
Wait,
home.
how's Mitrovic got Fulham at
Sorry,
home?
Newcastle. That was in it's Fulham playing at home.
Oh, I get you.
It'll then be
Cool.
against Bournemouth also at home, Villa also at home. These are down the line, but yeah, Carney's in such good form.
And I think, obviously with Isaac, right, there's not a whole lot of, data to go off in the Prem because he's barely played any games. He's only just come in. But I do think he's clearly hit the ground running to some extent. I mean, he's racked up 1.31 XGI already. I think, right, I'd probably say because Newcastle have got a good fixture run. They've got Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford, United's okay potentially. Then Everton, then Tottenham, then Villa, Southampton. It's really not that bad. And certainly these first few fixtures are, pretty
Yeah,
good.
they do
You look
look
at that
good.
Bournemouth and that's good. Fulham, you can score goals against Fulham. Brentford's all right too. And so Newcastle are going to score some goals. Who's going to Isaac? Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable that he'll be a key man for them. He's a good player. They bought him in for a
I'm
reason.
I'm actually happy to slot him in. He's not in my own wild card, but I do like the thought of him so far. So let's put him in. Oh no, don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that'll probably be the front three in my actual
He's
wildcard
in.
team.
That
So
is quite the template front three. Um, why haven't we given Kane a look here?
I mean, realistically, Kane he's
Leicester at
definitely
home,
worth
right
the
up
look.
next. Leicester always
He's
concede, they're poor.
against Arsenal. Leicester games are high
Yeah,
scoring.
those are both the North London derby current top goal scorer, isn't he?
Does he have an all right record in the North London derby? I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like he
yeah, yeah.
might.
He's current North London derby top goal scorer, I think.
Yeah, because he has a bad record against Chelsea, but I think against Arsenal he has a good
Hmm.
record.
And then a Potterless Brighton, who might have sorted themselves out after the international break. That's a whole month away, but yeah, currently a Potterless Brighton, and then Everton, a decent run ahead, basically. I guess it just comes down to that premium debate of Kane versus Salah versus De Bruyne versus anyone else. Um, we'll see. We'll see what funds we got at the end. Should we now pop to our goalie spot? So we previously actually had Nick Pope in there, current top scoring goalkeeper. Um, would we keep Pope or would we go elsewhere?
I mean, in my personal wildcard team, to be fair, I'm gonna stick with Henderson, who's, to be fair, fixed. It's not even actually suicide anymore. I mean, it luckily played out not to be suicide because he's done all right. But Fulham at home, Leicester away, Villa at home, Wolves away, Brighton away aren't actually even bad games anymore because they've got Tottenham and Man City out the way. They've played a Newcastle and West Ham who aren't exactly the nicest necessarily.
Mm. The thing is, I just look at them and I look at those games and I don't back them to keep a clean sheet ever. But I guess what you're doing is the strategy of just you don't you'd never back them to get a clean sheet. You just back him to get saves, and the chance that he does get a clean sheet, he's then going to get a 12, 13 pointer.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, my kind of strategy with Henderson, when I was picking him, I was trying to not. My reasons for picking him were all based in the season. How is he going to do? Like, if I pick apart each and every individual game week, I could easily be filled with doubt. But like I said to myself at the start of the season, he's a set and forget, and I've got to try my best to do the forget part and not just get all knee jerky. So it's like, for example, maybe he does concede against Fulham, and then you're really panicking, but then he might even pull a blinder out against Leicester. Like, I think the actual clean sheets themselves are hard to predict. It's why, like, I feel like you'd be silly to just, if you were going to go with Dean Henderson, you'd keep him for each game. You wouldn't rotate him with another keeper because he's going to get saves. I feel like the clean sheets, they should have kept one against Bournemouth, really, with it being Bournemouth, but they didn't. But they will keep some. And then when they do come, you're going to get a load of points at once, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, realistically, there's probably a safer keeper to get with. I'm just going to keep him in my personal team because, he was my kind of shout and, I'll still back him. But there's probably is a more risk-free.
Yeah, let's look at the other options that are out there. I'm actually just trying to make a table on Fantasy Football Scout, which is, I guess you can see my mouse moving around without it actually clicking on it. I want to know if I can sort goalkeepers by the XG they're prevented. If that's a thing. Saves.
Oh, that is shoddy. Dean Henderson made no saves against Bournemouth. Christ above. They were 2-0 up too. Like, it just... I didn't see that unfold live, and I'm glad I didn't.
Okay, I've got some stuff. Let's see if I can make this table. I'm creating the table. Oops, it looks like you've filled in. I need to enter a table name. I'm creating the table.
Low key. Pope could be a shout. He's got good fixtures. He's doing well. But he is 5.1 mil.
Right, here we are. Okay. I kind of wish I added a column for actual goals that they've conceded. Is there a way for me to do that now? Modify. Sorry, streamers. This is why you need like 3 people. You need someone to have a conversation with you while this is going on.
Yeah. I guess I'll have a self-conversation. The best kind. Looking at this, Newcastle are actually, according to Fantasy Football Scout, their season ticket defensively, they're currently third. They've got Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford, United, Everton
Good night.
in their next upcoming games, and Tottenham, Villa, Southampton, Chelsea. But I do have some doubts. I can't really see him keeping a clean sheet against Fulham, neither Man United. To be fair, though, Brentford, Bournemouth, and Everton are all up for grabs. So, yeah, I could see Pope continuing on his form. Realistically, if you wanted a safe pair of hands in net, I'd go with Pope. Now, he is 5.1 mil, so you could potentially save a bit of funds going for a... potentially even like a Raya's only 4.5 mil, and Brentford's are okay. Obviously, Sanchez now don't have Potter. and Brighton actually have ranked. Oh yeah, you wouldn't go with Brighton. They have a blank in game week 8, which is also obviously worth paying attention to. And then they just have not great fixtures: Liverpool, Tottenham, Brentford, Forest City. Yeah, you wouldn't go Sanchez. Pickford's out. Not that you'd go with Pickford anyway necessarily, but he's up there so far in keepers this season. Personally, I'm going to keep faith with Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson's my guy, but I mean, Wolves, Man City, then West Ham and Chelsea. That's not a great fixtures. Realistically, I actually think you either go with Raya if you want to save money because he's 4.5 mil. If you don't care about that, get Pope. He's safe.
I was gonna say I'm back with the stats.
Cool,
Right.
cool.
So, what would you like to know? I've got saves with feet. Some would say unnecessary, actually. I've got XG conceded non-penalty. I've got XG prevented, so how much the XG of on target conceded minus goals.
Show us XG prevented.
So I can't actually show you, but I can tell you. So the currently top
So,
goalkeeper
yeah.
for actually prevented is Pickford. He's prevented 2.6 goals. Pope comes in next with 1.8, tied with Allison on 1.8. Then we've got Jose Sarr, and then everyone else is at a negative.
Henderson's now not overperformed.
Henderson
Interesting.
has
Henderson has one clean sheet this
minus
season.
1.1 in terms of.
Yeah, that's because of Bournemouth. He should not have let fucking 3 goals in.
The thing is that he is so he's faced an XG of non-penalty XG of 10.4, but has conceded 14 goals. Whereas Pickford has conceded 9.5 XG and conceded 6 goals. Who are we actually interested in here, to be honest? Because of the run.
I'm actually, to be fair, not even just for my bias, I'm actually fairly interested in Henderson, though Pope is safer. I mean, he just
I
is.
think the other person that I would be looking at is Gaeta. Because if we look at these fixtures.
When do you think Johnston's going to start
Look
for
at
them?
that.
Because obviously they bought him and he's a decent little keeper, but Gaeta has been the one playing.
Yeah, I think you don't worry about Johnston until Gaeta gives you something to worry about. They've got a good couple of games ahead. I mean, Chelsea, tough game, but they're not clicking just yet.
Yeah, but they don't have a game in game week 8.
That's
so...
fine. You just play Ward. I mean,
So we're counting that as who does Ward play? Because you have to take that
Spurs.
into the fixtures then for him. So that's a bad fixture in game week 8 then, which you have to add together.
Okay, bad fixture currently, but then it gets great.
Then there's Chelsea at home. Then Leeds away, Leicester away.
Wolves at home. They're not bad. They're not bad games.
Then they get better, yeah.
They are not bad games in any respect. But let's see what his stats are saying. So Gaeta is he's faced 10.6 non-penalty XG, only conceded 9 goals, and they've actually played a tough opposition. I know they've got games against City in there, games against Liverpool, game against Arsenal. So they've done fairly well. The concern is that he's only made 16 saves. I don't know what we're getting at here. Who do we want in goal?
Yeah.
We've talked about this for a long time.
I think Gaeta, I'd be tempted by him if these first 2 fixtures off the bat weren't a blank.
Right,
then...
we're going template. Nick Pope it is. Okay, let's also get the next boys in here. João Cancelo, he's in. Next, Reece James, he's got to be in.
Yeah, you just have to bench him for game week 8 because yeah, he's in.
Yep, we'll bench him. He has to be in. He's basically playing like a forward. It is what it is. Then we've got 2 free spots. We'll come back to those. Who we have in a midfield? Martinelli. I'd like to keep him personally. I don't know how you feel about that. I know they've got tougher fixtures coming up. Tottenham, Liverpool, Leeds is good, but then it's a blank.
I mean, he's good value for money. Oh shit! God, yeah, he has gone up in price, hasn't he? I mean, obviously, you definitely don't fucking sell him if you've had him in all this time.
You could.
Yeah, but you'd sell for 6.2 mil. Are you? Because obviously his buy price is 6.5, which is slightly different. It's a few 0.3 mil more. But if you've had him from the start of the season, his sell price is 6.2 mil. And Saka's underlying numbers have been all right. They've been about on par for his price point. Martinelli is actually matched him, if not exceeded his underlying stats, and he's a sell price of 6.2. I know I will be axing Saka from my Arsenal team. I can't have the Arsenal triple up anymore. But to be fair, here's a question. If we're selling Jesus, we're not having him in our team. Martinelli keeping him as your Arsenal attacker, it's not the worst idea in the world, but yeah, the fixtures aren't amazing. Let's have a look at who could we just look it up. Yeah, I mean, Gross, for example, has blank Liverpool away, Tottenham at home, so Brighton's fixtures aren't exactly a target. Rodrigo's out. You're going to want some budget players in there. He's better than the likes of Odegaard. I think for the value, yeah. I think Martinelli stays, to be honest.
He's in. What I'm thinking we do at this point is let's switch from this. Let's see what team Joe has planned for his wild card.
And I haven't seen this yet.
Right.
As you said, I can react live.
So we'll stop sharing the TGG team. I'm gonna start sharing that, and Dan, you can see it in 2 seconds.
Well, I'm just seeing it on the chat now.
Oh yes, yes, it's on the chat. Lovely, thank you. There we are. So Joe's gone for Nick Pope, Trippier, double City defence in Diaz and Cancelo, Emerson Royale, Son by Andreas Pereira, Isaac, Haaland, Mitrovic, and he's benching Maddison.
Yeah, because Tottenham away. To be fair, I actually don't mind this team. I kind of like quite a bit of it.
How do you feel about Emerson Royale? Because that's what
I don't really like Emerson Royale, to be honest with you.
I wonder how much he's got in the bank, actually. But yeah, there were some words in Conte's press conference this morning about how Emerson Royale's actually quite fatigued, so I'm slightly worried about whether he starts the next game.
Yeah, and plus he's just not a good player.
He's got no attacking output at all. So really, you're basically banking on a dodgy assist, or a clean sheet. And
I think Son's a very interesting pick too.
I think Leicester are going to score, so that rules out Emerson Royale for me, to be honest. Perisic, I'd go there if I knew he was starting, or even Sessegnon, because they've got good attacking potential. Son, yeah, let's talk about Son. Have you heard about the news about how he's quite out of form?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen it, and I've seen it in his underlines too, and his output. Yeah, he's out of form.
He is due. He's hit the woodwork twice.
But realistically, Would you not go for a De Bruyne instead of Son? I know De Bruyne has his own problems because Man City. To be fair, they could slap up Southampton. They could probably humble Man United. Man United are probably due another defeat, and at the hands of City at the Etihad, seems like the kind of place they could get slapped up after a good run of form.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, personally for my team, I'm not going near Son because
I just don't think he's good value for money. He's
I
not performing at the output that his price tag is.
I think once he gets the ball rolling, then yeah, he will start churning them out because he's definitely a world class player. But I think currently, I just don't really want to go there. I don't really want to go there. For me, I mean, if Joe's got the balls to go there, then fair play. But I really would much prefer. I'm looking at KDB and I'm sort of just seeing that he's got that click and that spark with Haaland, and good players bounce off each other. It sort of gives me the vibes of like how.
And to be fair, I think so far De Bruyne, if anything's, underperformed his XGI or something, or his XG anyway. Not his necessarily his. Is it? Oh no, he's definitely not underperformed his XA. He's got 4 assists.
I think he has
So
slightly underperformed on XG though. Yeah.
yeah.
So he is due a goal. He got 4 against Wolves this same fixture last year. So maybe that'll give him a bit of a feeling of, oh, I'm back.
Yeah, I'd definitely lean towards De Bruyne over Son if I was picking between the two. If I was looking for that,
Well,
I kind of.
I'm gonna slot.
Oh,
I'm gonna slot De Bruyne into our Good Guy team then, because I feel like we're both there.
yeah.
Thereabouts. Foden is also an option. And anyway, what was I saying there? Yeah, sort of KDB and Haaland link up sort of reminds me of like Fabregas and Costa, or even Son and Kane at times. One of them looking for each other and all this sort of
Yeah.
stuff. I just think that's a good pairing that I'd double up for now, especially while Salah's blanking. And then I think I might look to move KDB on to Salah at some point in the near future. So it's just a quick move. I don't really want to be hanging around with Son for too much. I do think Son against Leicester could definitely be the game that he finally gets on the score sheet. And even the North London derby, he's a big boy and he'll step up to the plate. But right now he just looks a bit wobbly. How do you feel about him starting Leon Bailly?
I can see why he's done it in the sense that Villa have good fixtures. It is because obviously their fixtures: Southampton at home, Leeds away, Forest away, Chelsea at home, Fulham away, Brentford at home. I mean, he's targeted the fixture run. Now, I guess the question is Bailey the guy to go for in the Villa team? Is Bailey going to be racking up the points for Villa? Because one of the Villa players are going to do well over this run, unless Villa do absolutely awful. But if we view Aston Villa, look at their fielders, of course. Oh wait, actually, why am I looking at it on there? Let's look at them on my XG.
Would you like? Yeah, you go for it. I was gonna say I could get it up.
Right, here we go. I mean, over what time span is this table? No, last 4 game weeks. That's the fucking problem. All matches. I knew something was off with this. I was just looking at some numbers, like just then. I was like, "What? This is not right."
I feel like I should also introduce my wild card while we're here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to mine at the end. One sec. I can kind of. Where's Villa? I mean, because there's, uh, Buendia, is a potential contender. What's the price difference? Obviously, Buendia is a bit more expensive, but yeah, I don't actually know if Bailey will necessarily, pop off too much. I think Buendia in Watkins could potentially do well. I don't think you'd go Watkins though, just because there's quite a plethora of striking talent, and I don't think he makes the cut. If you have the cash, oh wow, Buendia got benched against Man City. Oh yeah, his
Mm.
minutes haven't been fucking reliable. Oh, that's a bit ugly. But he's done all right, XGI. Well, he leads the oh no, Watkin leads the team for XGI. But Buendia does lead the team for XG
Buendia leads the team for XG. Interesting.
this season for Aston Villa. Now his minutes, he's played 45 minutes, then 30 minutes, then 72, then 24, then 72, then 1. And to compare that to Bailey, who's played 90, then 12, then 65, then 12, then 90, then 90. So he started the last 2 games and played all 90 minutes.
My personal feelings around Leon Bailly is that obviously I think he will definitely start against Southampton because Gerrard owes it to him for
Oh, for scoring at
saving his
City,
job
yeah.
basically. And I think Gerrard would be stupid not to start him. Because especially I think Watkins or Ings is injured. I can't really remember which one. So yeah, they need goals, and it's probably going to be Bailly. So I kind of back that. I kind of back that. The issue is I don't like having him in my team long run. I just don't really like Aston Villa. I don't really like Gerrard. I don't really like how Bailly could easily just get dropped any
To
second.
be fair, Aston Villa haven't done great this season in general. And you think of that first game against Bournemouth, that was pretty dog by
Mm.
them, I'm not gonna lie.
So maybe this is a good segue into my team and who I've gone for over Bailly, which is Anthony Gordon. They're roughly the same price point. Gordon is a bit more expensive. I think he's like 0.8 more expensive. Um, so nearly a whole mil more expensive. But I kind of like how Gordon's just more nailed, just more set and forget.
Yeah,
My
yeah, I
my
can
team
see
is
that, and Everton have
in
decent
the WhatsApp chat.
fixtures. But who I who I'm potentially thinking about in that sort of price bracket? Uh, Bobby Reed, Decavoda Reed.
Hmm.
I think I might
Interesting. So
back
you
him
would
as well.
go? Would you go Mitrovic?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Would I really want to double up Fulham?
Because you're technically already doubling up with Andreas Pereira, I presume. So you would then
Yeah. That's a good
triple
question. If
Fulham.
I wasn't going with Mitrovic, I'd go Decador Reed. Thinking about it, if I went Mitrovic, if I went Mitch, I can't go. I can't. No, I'm not tripling up
All right.
Fulham.
This stream's been a bit of a mess so far. So I'm going to riff off, and I want you to hear what I feel about each of the players in my team and why I've chosen them.
Okay.
Right. So Nick Pope, I think he's prevented the second most XG, just after Pickford. Pickford is just an option which I'm not really interested in with a sort of leaky defence, and I don't really back Everton too highly there. And he's currently obviously injured with his shoulder situation, so Pickford's off the table. Nick Pope, I wanted to go for him last week, didn't do it. He then got his 12 pointer. Semi feel like I potentially missed the boat there. But I just think of all current goalkeeping options, he's the best one around. So he's set. He's in my team. That's it. Next, Cancelo speaks for himself. We can get attacking
Yeah,
returns
yeah.
against anyone. James, same there. Trippier, I'm actually half against going
The
for.
thing that I'll say about Trippier is because I've put thought into Trippier before. Um, is his attacking threat isn't as high as you'd think it would be.
I,
Like he can score the odd direct free kick. I think defensively he can get some clean sheets. But when you look at how in the Premier League some fullbacks, have real offensive threat to them, and I get that the money can only buy you so much. Trippier, he's not. I can't see him like being explosive. I mean, maybe he doesn't need to be. He's a bit. I almost want to say the word vanilla in terms of his. Like he's not exciting, but he could definitely do a job.
yeah.
I, yeah.
Um, I'm wondering if I can look at attacking returns for, well, not attacking returns, but just XGI for Newcastle defenders. Because what I really like is Fabian Schär. Um, and I think there's this weird career stat that he has actually, like, across his career, always got an attacking return every 6 games or something like that. Um, so he's never gone more than 6 games without an attacking return, or every 6 games he's got an attacking
Right.
return,
See,
basically
because I can tell
average.
you some stats now here for some of these Newcastle boys. So, for example, Trippier so far this season, he's got 1.18 XGI, but only 0.28 of that is XG. So, he's got what 0.8, 0.9 some in XA. So, all right. Shaw has got 0.76 XGI and 0.54 of that's XG. So he's got like around double the XG so far that Trippier has. Botman has higher XG than Trippier at 0.33 and a 0.75 XGI
Mm,
overall. So Trippier has the highest XGI thanks to his, he does have some decent or certainly okay assist threat, but his actual XG this season's less than Shaw's, less than Botman's.
I am sort
Uh,
of leaning towards Fabian Schär because I am looking at that and I'm thinking Fabian Schär could have whole potential if he scores. The only issue is whether Fabian Schär gets rested in the more congested fixture
yeah, because
period
he is
that comes
cheaper.
up.
He is cheaper than Trippier.
He is quite a bit cheaper. And that could actually allow me to then go Trippier down to Schär and maybe Perisic up to Diaz or
I mean,
Chilwell if he comes in.
Botman's 4.4 mil, so if he was to get embedded in the
But I
team,
do like the. I'm drawn to have Fabian Schär. He obviously got an attacking return on day one, game week one, and since then hasn't actually got an attacking return. So I feel like he's due something.
no, yeah, I like Scher. I had Scher for parts of
Mm,
last season, and he did quite well for me. And I do take that into account. When over my
so
record of playing
biased.
FPL. Nah, but I think there is some merit in it because when I can, it means that when I feel like a player is going to do well, and I've had them a couple times before over the last season or two, and they've done well when I thought they're going to do well, I can almost rely on them a bit more. Like when I think it's the time to bring in Son usually does well for me. So I don't know. It is a
It's a
layer of
science.
bias.
It's a
Yeah,
science.
yeah, it is a bias, but we all have biases, and
Um,
it's one of them.
right. So Trippier could potentially be shared, but basically it's another Newcastle defender. Next we've got Neco Williams. Neco Williams could also be Emerson. I'm not against Emerson. Of West Ham. He's playing left wing back. West Ham have got some decent fixtures. I don't really back Forest to keep a clean sheet. So it's just sort of in the attacking returns category. Emerson could be there. Neco Williams could be there. Don't really care either one. I think I save zero point 0.1 if I go for Emerson, so I'm not against that. The final defender slot of where I've currently got Perisic is a bit out in the open. I don't know if he'll actually start. The thing that I had here is I wanted to target the Leicester game for Spurs because I thought that could be quite a good attacking opportunity. Um, so I went for Perisic there, but it could genuinely be anyone, any defender. I'm not even against. I've already got Triple City, so I can't go there with a Diaz or anyone else. So then I feel like I may as well go for attacking returns, and that's in the Perisic category. I was debating going actually Fabian Schär and tripling up on going Pope, Trippier, and Schär, but it's not something I really want to do.
That's a lot of eggs in one basket.
Yeah, I'm still not against it, but I don't really back Newcastle's defensive run after this. I think they've got a good attacking run, but not a good defensive run. This game this
Yeah.
week, Bournemouth is alright, but after that, I think it turns a bit less defensively solid, in my opinion. Um, anyway, we'll move to midfield. Andres Pereira, I still put him in the category as a 5.5er. I don't think he's a 4.5er. I think he's on set pieces. He's a good creative asset in that Fulham team. If Fulham are at home, I'm happy to play him. Next to him, I've gone for James Maddison. Leicester are a terrible team. They are a terrible team. And also, actually, an interesting thing, a fun fact if you want to know, Dan. There's a lot of chat about Brendan Rodgers potentially being sacked. Um, and I actually think it won't happen anytime soon because to sack Brendan Rodgers, he actually has a 10 mil like termination fee. And with their current finance situation, I really don't think that's something they want to do. So I
Oh,
genuinely
shit.
don't know where they're going to go from here. And it could just be two butting heads. Manager that doesn't want to be there because he's getting no funding, and a club that can't sack him because they don't have the funding to sack him. Um, so unless they walk away with mutual consent, don't know how that's going to happen. But for now, while there's still a mess, James Maddison is playing. He's back from injury. There's no one really else that I like at that price bracket. Maybe a Kulusevski, but I'm fearful that he starts at right wing back this week. Um, other than that, yeah, Martinelli we've spoke about, De Bruyne we've spoke about, Gordon I've touched upon, um, Mitrovic we've spoke about, Haaland we don't need to speak about, and last but not least I've gone for Ivan Toney. He's on pens. What more do I have to say?
Yeah.
And that's my team. I like it. The only things I don't like are potentially, potentially actually anyone that's a transfer. um, no, I like Tony. I like Gordon somehow. I semi like Madison. I like De Bruyne. I just don't know about Perisic. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You know what? I'm currently playing with the idea of potentially.
What is it?
Um, hmm. I've got a debate between because I could bring Decador to Reed and have Kane instead of Mitrovic.
Yeah,
But I mean, realistically, I am plagued with some bias of because I'm doing real wishful thinking at Nottingham Forest away. I'm kind of in my calculation assuming, oh well, he's probably not going to score against or get an involvement against Forest, but that is
but
something
surely
I'm
you
going to
just
have to put.
cover all bases because if Mitrovic doesn't get a return, then great because hopefully Fulham haven't scored, and you get a nice, lovely clean sheet for Henderson. And then if he does score, fair play, Henderson's lost the clean sheet, but oh great, it's fine because you've got Mitrovic, so the haul doesn't really affect you.
Yeah, one sec. I'm gonna.
I also kind of think, Dan, you just sort of take your returns that you've got from Henderson and now move on.
Yeah. I could do that. Uh, but I could also not. I don't think I will.
I really do think Edison could be a good option.
I think that's more expensive. And I do think, right, if I look at this now, because I've almost weathered a storm with Henderson. He didn't have good fixtures when I picked him. But now, between Fulham at home, Leicester away, Villa at home, Wolves away, and Brighton away, I'd hope for a couple clean sheets. And by that case, I'd hope for a couple hauls. So really, I'd hope for like 25 points or something in his next 5 game weeks. That averages 5 points per game, you know. Uh, yeah, I
Wow.
think I keep faith for him because he's.
Right. Let's wrap this up.
One sec, I am currently meddling around with my.
My
And if
energy
I
is
did,
low. I actually got up at 3 a.m. today.
Christ. Um, if I did, because I could potentially, right, if I just throw in. Oh, I want to throw you in, man. Add player, not player information. Uh, um, who? Let's have a quick talk about midfielders.
Yep.
Uh,
What,
who do you think who's hot and who's not? Obviously, well, Rashford's quite cheap, but he has a blank in the Man City away. Not really that great. Brighton don't have great fixtures.
I
Um,
feel like we've been through this. I mean, if I was to list them off the top of my head, Bowen's got good games, but it's waiting for him to hit that patch of form. Same with Madison. Same with Son. Um, Kulusevski is up in the air about. He definitely deserves to start, but Richarlison also has been pushing for that start. So where they both fit in, don't know. Um, De Bruyne, I just think a world class player. He's always potential to be in our teams. There's no reason why not. I then think Martinelli, even Saka is a good option at this point. Um, yeah, I don't know what else there is. I don't think there's much. Zaha, we've not really talked about Zaha. I think Zaha from game week, what are we on, 8, 9, 10 onwards is a good option. I think next week against Chelsea when he does play, well, after the international break, um, I think Potter would have sorted us out by then. And
all right, I've actually got a wild card team now. Well, not. I'm obviously not going to confirm it right
lovely.
this second.
Could you
Um,
describe it for the pod?
yeah, and it works out with zero in the bank. So I've got Dean Henderson in goal with Ward in net. I have got um, James Shaw, Cancelo, and Trippier with Neco Williams on the
Yep.
bench. I've got Decadovda Reed, Martinelli, De Bruyne, and Gordon with Pereira on the bench, and I've got Kane, Isaac, and Haaland up top. So it's a bit of a triple premium.
Mm. Have you got a route to get to Salah? No. How much is Decold over Reed?
5.5. If I sold,
How would you feel about
well, I'd
doing
have to.
Reed to
Well, no, I have De
buy?
Bruyne, so I do have a route. I just need to downgrade someone else and then top up De Bruyne to Salah.
That's what I'm saying. As in, if you did Decold over Reed to buy, would that give you the money you need to do De Bruyne up to Salah when it comes to it?
Um, to buy, how much does buy cost?
4.7, I think.
Yes, it's a pretty precise thing, so it doesn't allow for much sway against my odd favour. But yeah, because De Bruyne's 12.2, Decadorda Reed's 5.5, which means I could sell Decadorda Reed to buy a £13 million player. It would be very touch and go, and I'll definitely obviously review this before I go to bed. But I have got something for the viewers to digest.
Okay, no, that's good. That's good. Deckled over Reed is an interesting pick. You're definitely pushing
He's
your
actually
boat down there.
underperformed his XGI.
Okay.
But I do think, right, if we look at it,
Do
if we
you
just
think he's
quickly...
underperformed that because he's shit?
It's an interesting question. I do know... See, the thing is, right, with XGI, Mitrovic he's gone clear with 4.6. Decador Reed is second highest for the team with 1.71. And then the third highest being like 0.89 with Pereira. So he's definitely second. But it's whether Fulham are going to do well enough to accommodate for more than one player. You know, like if they do okay, it might only be Mitrovic who is, getting anything to chow down on. But if they can actually do well in this good run of form, then Decador Reed is their second most productive player, or second most involved player. So, it's something to think about before I go to bed. Or before the deadline.
Yeah, right that.
Yeah. Does mean getting in Kane.
How? Yeah. You sort of, if you do go for the threemium, I don't mind the threemium, but you will sort of be locked into like not going up to like a Trent or anything like that afterwards.
Well, I would if I sold Kane for someone and then upgraded like Trippier or Shaw. Because I could sell Kane and get an £8 million striker, and I could even go up from Shaw to Trent. I think that's why the threemium can kind of work, because I've not got Trent. And because De Bruyne's slightly cheaper than Salah.
But I'm just saying, you're stuck in that structure later on.
Well, I'd have to solve it with a double transfer at a time.
Yeah, that's fine then. I'm heavily flagging and getting tired.
Yeah, Everton do have good fixtures, to be fair, don't they? I can see why Gordon could do.
Okay, last but not least, we've not really finished off our team.
Oh, do you know what we need? We need a non-premium King of the Hill too.
Yeah, I just looked at that sort of stuff. Joe won it last week with a nice 5-point return from Pascal Gross. You came second with a nice 4-point return from Neco Williams, and I came just a few points behind with a 2-pointer from James Ward-Prowse. So a good turnout from the boys. Who have you got in mind for this week? Let's just get one off the cusp, not think about it too much.
I'm gonna go. Oh shit! I was going, but he is premium. Completely defeats the purpose. Oh, fuck it! I'll go Cancelo.
You'll go Cancelo, right?
What about you? Off the cuff.
I'm gonna go for someone that can haul. I'm gonna go for Cancelo is actually a really good one. He's a really good one. I'm gonna go for who are Brentford playing? Arsenal. That's not haul potential. I'll go for Isak.
Yeah, not a bad shout.
and we'll just presume that Joe's gone for Emerson Royale because that's his differential in his team, I guess.
Wait, no. Let's see. What's Joe's team? We could do almost a randomizer or like an eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Okay. Oh, his team's in the chat. We can both see his team.
Okay, so starting from Pope and then going because we won't we won't include his bench in this. And we
We could
can't
include Madison.
Yeah, but he has benched him, so I take it Joe doesn't think he's gonna haul.
But he's picked
It's
him. He's picked
it's
him.
very unlikely Joe would pick Madison given that he's not starting him and he has him. We'll do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, starting from Pope, going left to right, then left to right, then left to right. However, skipping out Son and Haaland as they're not legible. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a baby by its toe. If it squeals, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, Trippier, that's not even that bad.
That's not even that bad, actually. Yeah, that's actually really good. Oh, jeez. Oh, lucky him.
If somehow Cooper wins this round.
Right, okay. Quality. So, that's job done then. Technically, we're supposed to give our eye test of the week, but we'll just let that slide because there was no games last week.
Obviously, there was technically the week before,
No,
but we can't go back
yeah,
that far.
it's deleted from our brains.
Yeah, we were mourning the Queen.
Yep.
I can't remember before
remember anything pre-Liz now. I'm only in the Charles era. Right. Are we?
Did we not get any questions this pod? Have we had any viewers?
No, we've had 0 viewers.
Oh wow.
Serious, I'm half glad of that. Oh, we had one view. They came for 1:30 apparently, and we didn't realise.
Oh, only 7 followers have actually even seen our story.
I'm really tired, so I'm glad no one's come and watched this because this has been rough. It's good to reflect.
Yeah. There's room for improvement.
We definitely needed a Joe here because, and I don't like saying that, but we definitely needed him because I could have done with more bouncing off, and I feel like you didn't have much pre-prepared to.
Well, I feel like by nature anyway on these, because even when I've prepared stuff, my track record isn't as good, so I'm more of a question asker, which isn't necessarily a bad thing per se for content, because it does still stimulate conversation, but yeah, it helps when there's 3 people there.
We needed the threemium. We're a threemium.
Yeah.
Maybe that foreshadows your team. Maybe you should go down the threemium route.
But we didn't have a freemium today.
Oh crap! We didn't even finish off the good guy team.
Have we finished Are we no longer live?
No, we're still live.
Let's go. That's what you want to be saying when you're live.
Fine.
Go on.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Okay, we've still got half the team.
Right, okay, we can chuck in some names here. Ideally, all right.
Okay, come on. Right. How
much money do we have?
We've got loads of money. Who should we get in defence?
We could get
Share. Fabian Share?
Yeah. Because we don't have the money for Trippier. We've only got under 100 mil.
That's so true.
So we'll save some. You folks at home could go Trippier if you wanted to.
Let's also just get a cheap Emerson Royale. Not Emerson Royale. God,
no, not Emerson Royale.
I meant the other Emerson.
Yeah, we don't want the team to be shit.
He comes in. Now we've got 2 positions left, 15 mil. Okay. So we're playing a back 3 currently. So a 3-4-3. So we
I mean, currently two of us. I'm looking at Gordon. You've got Gordon. We could whack Gordon in there and then
let's
get
get
an
him in.
expensive one.
Let's get him in. Gordon, come in.
I mean, it feels very. It's interesting how we've now got 10 mil to spend on a midfielder. Usually, you don't have. It almost hints that something's gone wrong because we have a cheap budget.
I mean, we have got a really cheap defence.
Because we could almost go Sterling, but that doesn't feel optimal. Because you said on previous podcasts how Sterling
Maybe
doesn't seem.
we should remove. We should. Oh God. We should. Let's go for which defender can we think of that's a better defender to go in here?
Who have you got rid of?
Got rid of Neco Williams.
Um,
Who?
to be fair, we could even go Trippier. Newcastle have good fixtures. Or
We've
we
already
could go.
maxed out.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, Pope. Yeah, fair play.
we could go for.
James. We've not got
We have.
James.
He's right there.
Oh, no, I wish I could take that. I am looking at this. It is a little small, but yeah, I wish I could take that.
Matip feels a bit stupid, and they've got those sort of games coming up. But from game week 12, I really like Matip.
Wait, one sec. Who's Joe got in his back line? Oh, he's got City defenders. Oh, and we've already got 3 City players.
Chelsea boys, maybe. Chelsea don't look too.
Oh, and we're not going Emerson Royale. Oh, Joe's got rid of Neco Williams. That's interesting.
Who's he got on his back line?
James, Trippier, Diaz, Cancelo, Emerson Royale. I don't agree with his decision to get rid of Neco Williams. His fixtures are okay. He's a solid.
We're
bench
literally
option.
getting rid of. We're trying to look for Neco Williams' replacement right now. I guess you know what. Screw it.
I don't agree with
Yeah,
it, because he's wing back too.
Let's just bring him back. Go on. Okay, we got 10 mil to spend on a midfielder.
Oh, we should not have a couple mil in the bank or something.
We've got a 99 mil budget. We've got bills in the bank.
yeah, that's just not.
Right, who do we want to go for then? I mean, we've got ample money.
Yeah, really, on your first draft too for a team, you shouldn't just have loads of cash left over.
Sterling?
What are his fixtures? Oh, he's not even got a fixture in game week 8. And then he's got Palace away, Wolves at home, Villa away, Brentford away.
Why don't we just go Maddison for now, and then what we'll do is later on we'll just make the transfers down the line. We've got 2.2 mil in the bank. That leaves us enough room to either upgrade like a Gordon to Zaha or a Emerson to Chilwell.
How do we feel about Emerson? Because we could even go Zaha and then upgrade Emerson.
Upgrade Emerson to what?
We could upgrade to a premium.
But we literally just had that conversation for Neco Williams, and we couldn't decide of anything, so we went back to Neco Williams.
Yeah. We shouldn't have a problem of having too much money. That it doesn't feel right. Like, essentially what we're saying is we have an extra couple mil used over, but we can't possibly upgrade our team. It's just too optimal. Give me more money. I can't.
I love how we also our reasoning for Shaw was we've got to save money. This is a budget team.
just got millions left over.
I actually don't mind our team now. Come on, I'm gonna make these transfers. Let's see how it lines up.
Wait. Oh yeah, because it is a wild card. So it lines up. Wait, have we got Madison?
Yeah.
I'd rather have Zaha
Wait,
in than
what
Madison, and
happened?
so would Joe. Oh wait, I mean Joe does have Madison too, but he also has Zaha.
Hold on. But Zaha doesn't have a fixture this week. We need to make sure that we can field the team.
Oh, but we could field both. We could field Andreas, to be fair. Yeah, field Andreas for Madison and buy Zaha, because Zaha's a great fixture run in a couple game weeks. And you even said Leicester is shit.
Yeah,
But
but
you do have Madison in,
what
don't
I'm
you?
thinking is that we play Madison for these 2 games, and then we move to Zaha. Look, he's got Nottingham Forest. They're batterable.
I'd hope not.
Then he's got Bournemouth. They're batterable. And then we move on, even though he's got good games, but still. Who's Zaha got?
Well, look at him.
Zaha, he's got Chelsea up next, which I don't back him for. Then he's got
Then it gets good.
Leeds, alright. Then he's got Leicester, alright. Then he's got Wolves, and then he's got Everton. Yeah, he's got a good run. He's got a good run. But fine, we'll go Zaha. We'll go Zaha. You know, the only thing that sold me here is how the team we apparently support is Crystal Palace. So it's, if anything, oh wow, and we've got an advert here for a Crystal Palace game. Everything is pointing towards Zaha. He's actually, oh no, that's Schlupp. Is that Schlupp? No, that's
yeah. We'll ignore Madison in the picture. She said everything's pointed
front and centre. So actually, if anything, why don't we do Gordon to Zaha?
Yeah, we can. But I mean, it seems interesting. Almost a move I don't agree with. I mean, we literally both have Gordon in our team at current.
Do you have Zaha in your team?
No, but I like the look of him.
So only one person's got Zaha in their team. 2 people have Madison.
Yeah, but I honorary have him in my team because he might come in.
Does Joe have Martinelli?
Oh wow, Joe doesn't have Martinelli. That's interesting.
We could do Martinelli to Zaha. I feel indifferent about Martinelli.
Yeah, how is Madders been doing lately? Because I know he had a great end to like last season and he's done all right.
Let's see what he's done.
What's his underlines like lately? Is he?
So he started off fairly well, 5-7-7, and then he sort of dropped off. But he was injured at one point.
One sec. One thing I'm gonna. Where is Leicester?
I want to go soon. We need to make a decision.
I mean, I think if we go. Zaha is. I just think it's Zaha over Madders.
Right, okay, take it. I've had the decision. Let's go then. Was he there actually? Idiot. Bang. Button pressed. Confirmed. So the TGG team lines up. We've got to actually remember to check the lineup next time we pod. We're playing Andreas Pereira ahead of Emerson.
Yeah.
Or ahead of Neco Williams.
Oh, Neco Williams, Fulham at home. I was gonna say that they're not gonna keep a clean sheet against Fulham.
Uh,
Oh, at least it's not Fulham away. Fulham away is a scary fixture.
yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
mean, our double Newcastle defence is up against Fulham away next time.
Yeah, and I do say that as I do potentially have Decadon or Reed just chilling there. But
Right,
I guess I'm
the
cutting
thing is
bases.
done.
But yeah.
Let's end this finally.
Shouldn't be the last line. This is while it's live.
Ah, my sweet remorse that I can go and leave this thing.
Sweet remorse. I'm pretty sure that's the wrong word. Remorse is
Well,
like mourning.
I don't care, man. I've been up since 3. I want to go to bed. Been on a plane.
Well,
I've travelled
think about it.
half the continent.
You know, this is what the grind is. It's one person watching you for 1.5 minutes while you do a nearly 2 hour live stream.
But we've actually had. Oh, we've got one viewer right now. I don't know who it is. Oh, Joe. Joe said, "Why no Trippier?" Joe, listen to the pod, man. If you were here,
Yeah, we
you would have
really try.
heard.
Joey's actually almost less than an audience member in here because an audience member you'd have to answer. But
We're Fabian Share supporters, Joe and Dan and I.
yeah, he's got more XG and he's cheaper.
Yeah, and the Good Guy team only had a 99 mil budget.
I want to ignore the fact that we were debating how to spend the excess for so long.
He doesn't need to know that. Joe, if you want to see the decisions we made, just scroll back like I'd say 5 minutes at max. And the last 5 minutes are actually pretty decent to listen to. Ignore the whole rest of this other pod. The whole rest of this is a mare. It's just terrible.
It's certainly not good. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, any other viewers that are here? Is it time to wrap up now?
Yeah, it's time to go.
I presume we'll put some. Should we promise that we'll put some content out there with our final wildcard teams?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, nice. All right. Who's gonna be your captain this week, Dan? Oh crap! Who's the current captain on the team? I've just clocked as Isaac.
Yeah, yeah.
Should we just leave that there?
Isaac ain't bad, and obviously I have less personal. Like it's you can take a couple more fun decisions with TGG team. I mean, what? Wait, what is the rank of the TGT team? How's it doing?
Does it
What's
say
its
there
rank?
on the screen? Am I still sharing screen?
Yeah, you're sharing, but I can't see it. Oh, the overall rank. Just scroll up slightly.
It's 2.4 million. I can't seem to. 2.4 million. Should we do eeny meeny miny mo for the captain?
I mean, we could make a decision.
We'll just vice captain this guy. I can't actually seem to vice captain him. We'll vice captain this guy, and then should we just eeny meeny miny mo?
Fuck it. Sure.
Well, you're the eeny meeny miny mower. Okay, I'll move the mouse around and then you sing the song, and then I'll just say it in I'll just move the mouse in a random order. That'll be pretty fun.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a baby by its toe. If it squeals, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh!
You just.
That's actually so dumb now I think about it, because I just got to choose at the last minute which one of these I wanted to go
Why
for.
would? No. Mo landed on Cancelo, and then you just dragged the mouse across at the last second to share.
Okay, and now we just flip between these two. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a pillar by its toe. If it squeals, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's back to this guy. Well, Captain Cancelo it is.
So if my non-premium King of the Game week predicted does smashes it, that also means that the good guys have captained him. So.
Or it could be a double L for us.
Yeah, you'll feel my pain.
Right, let's wrap this up. Joe's actually left, I think. He's actually currently not watching. It's so
Christ, if
rude.
one of our own can't even watched it for more than a
That
few
was
minutes.
so
What does that
rude.
say about the-
Right. Well, goodbye, people.
Yeah, goodbye.
That's ended.